Butter rum creamies. Yum! Oh! To make these creamy pralines, you need 2 ounces of softened brick Philadelphia cream cheese, 1 stick of softened butter, 12 ounces of evaporated milk, 2½ cups of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of rum extract, 1 tablespoon of good rum, and 1 cup of chopped pecans. Hi, and welcome to Real Women of Philadelphia. I'm Claudia Signoleon, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, and today I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese to whisk up a great dessert, butter rum creamies. It's a buttery, rum-kissed version of traditional New Orleans Creole pralines, made even creamier by using Philadelphia cream cheese. And so bring your biceps, your triceps, and your whisk, and let's get started making our butter rum creamies. Okay, now we're going to start putting together our butter rum creamies. It takes a bit of whisking and arm work, but it's well worth it for the end result. Here already in my little saucepan, I have my butter, and to it I've already added my Philadelphia cream cheese. And we're just going to go ahead and whisk that together, get that going. A whisk is better to use for me, but you can use a spoon if you so desire. We got that going, and then to that we're going to come in and we're going to add our sugar. Sugar is going to go right down. If I can get it out of the bowl here, it's going to go right down into our mixture there. Go ahead and whisk that, the sugar and butter together to blend that in. You basically just want to go ahead and get all of your ingredients in. We're going to add our milk. Whisk that in. Your fire is on medium-low to medium heat while you're doing this part. Then we're going to raise it up. As we put the milk in it, we can raise it up a little bit so that we can get that cream cheese dissolved into the milk. And this is where you start the whisking process. You just start basically whisking. You want to make sure, the important thing is that all the sugar and the butter and the cream cheese become completely dissolved in the milk, because that's where the creaminess comes in. So we're just going to go ahead, just going to whisk this through. And then to that we're going to add, now here I have our rum extract and our vanilla. So we're going to put that in. And whoo, talk about a layer of flavor there. Until everything's well incorporated, and until everything is dissipated throughout the milk. The cream cheese, the butter, the rum, the vanilla, and this smells absolutely awesome. And you know what? They taste awesome too. My grandmother used to actually make pralines using a big black skillet. I don't have one of those. She didn't see fit to leave it to me in her legacy. A lot of stirring, but basically everything's in now, except for the pecans that are going to come later. So you just basically keep whisking this, whisking this, whisking this. We're just going to let this go for a minute, put our heat, make sure our heat is up to medium. We're going to let this go until it starts to bubble, keeping an eye on it, because we don't want to scorch the milk. Over here I have prepared, I have a board, and on the board I've just gone ahead and I've just put a sheet of parchment paper on it and sprayed it with some cooking spray, because that's what we're going to use to turn the pralines out on after this is thickened up nicely and after we've added the pecans, to allow them to harden. And they harden right before your eyes. As soon as you put it out, the air starts hitting that sugar and the sugar starts to harden again, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful creamy praline. And then you bite into it, you get the cream of the praline and then the crunch of those wonderful, wonderful pecans. So great. Now, as y'all can see, this has started coming up. It's been about maybe 2 minutes into the process, and this is starting to come up and thicken very, very nicely. So what do? Watch it and whisk. W2. Watch and whisk. And you should smell this, the vanilla and the butter and the rum. These are going to be so Now here we are with our butter rum creamies. We've gone ahead and we've put in our sugar and our vanilla and our butter and our rum and some rum extract, and we're stirring it. And you see how thick and creamy that's getting? We've got our Philadelphia cream cheese in there. And what you want to do is you just keep stirring and whisking, and it's going to thicken. And it becomes creamier and creamier the thicker that it gets. We're going to let this go for probably another 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to drop in our pecans. And then once the pecans go in, we're going to pour them out, and voila, they're going to harden right before your eyes. And then we'll be ready to sink our teeth into this delicious, decadent dessert. Okay, now y'all, as you can see, we're getting pretty close here. This is really thickened up considerably. And the way that you can really tell that you're getting close is that the candy, the praline, starts to separate. You see how it's just separating from the sides of the pot? Now, using a non-stick pot helps. But if you don't, it's still going to do that. Because now the sugar is starting to crystallize again. Means it's getting thicker. It's almost time to add the pecans. And now we're going to go ahead and add our pecans. You just go ahead, put them in, stir them in, and now we're ready to pour them out, let them cool, and then eat them. Once you put your nuts in, you're ready to set it out. Now, move that out. Here I have our board with our parchment paper that I've sprayed with just some butter-flavored cooking spray. Let's get this a little closer so it won't make a mess. And basically what you're going to do is turn the fire up, and you're just going to freehand it. Just go ahead and you just pour them out. Like so. These are going to set up nicely. They're going to start getting hard almost instantaneously as they cool. As the sugar cools, the sugar starts to recrystallize, and that's what actually makes them harden. See how creamy that is? And the Philadelphia cream cheese, I find, actually helps them to harden. Not only adds to the creaminess and gives it some great flavor, but it helps them to harden. So you just fit as many on here as you want. You see it makes quite a few. Get the last bit out. Put this one right here. Let's see if it can fit. Let's make it too small. And we're done. Now we're going to let these harden, and then I'm going to come back, plate them up, then we're going to get a bite of these fantabulous butter rum creamies. Ready for a creamy, delicious treat? Here it is. Butter rum creamies. I go ahead and I just garnish them over the top with some pecans. And you see they've hardened up nicely. And man, do they taste. And I'll show you, how the texture of. You see how they broke? See how creamy that is on the inside? Nice and creamy and full of pecans, and So the next time you want something delicious and creamy and you need an arm workout, try these butter rum creamies. Everybody's gonna love them. And until next time, I'm Claudia Signalam, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, and the Real Women of Philadelphia. Happy eating.